I mean, I'm feeling so. Me in my feelings, but one whole heap of things, and I need to share it with you. So, driving in a low car with somebody somewhere, and there's a hump. Remember, said the car low. And the first thing that the person thought about saying, asking, requesting is that I step out of the car. Because clearly it is my weight why the car now go over the hump. Remember, said the car low. Hey everyone, I'm Dania Beckford. Bold, sometimes brash. And since I'm the CEO of Broadtail Design, I consider myself Broadtail beautiful. It's time we make the conversations we have as women open, honest, and authentic as we navigate living our best lives. Join me as I have intimate conversations with women of all sizes, shapes, and confidence levels as we explore being Broadtail. Welcome to season 2 of Being Broadtail, where we have authentic conversations with women of all shapes and sizes about where they are on their confidence journey. And of course, the first episode is always me and Uno getting really up close and personal. But a whole heap of things happened since last year. One whole heap of things happened since last season. Season 1 was such fire. And I'm happy to know that when I walk around the place, I hear people talking about equal opportunity chairs now. All bottoms must be comfortable on chairs because all broad tails matter. Tiny tails, you matter too. And listen, what a way the girl them on the digital platform them want to lift up. Yeah. Big up to Carla, who came through and was very honest and authentic about the fact that she wants to lift up. She wants somebody to lift her up because nobody never lift her up before. And you ladies have joined the movement for say, yeah, the broad tail them want to lift up. I like it. You're also wearing your right bra sizes and taking care of them. So I like all of those things that have come out of season 1. And the fact that a couple of broadtails have also reached out to say that final episode with the Sagicor representative, you have been investing because of not take care of the wealth for 2022. I like that a lot. But this season is about soul work. We're going to do some soul work this season where we're talking to some people who they have been through it. And most of them say them at number 10 on them confidence scale now, and we're going to dissect how they got there. But first, I want to start with myself. In my feelings, but one whole heap of things, and I need to share it with you. This year has been rough, but it's also tumultuously happy. Like a whole heap of good things happen, but then some things, it had some challenges as well. And the challenges had me in my feelings. And so I want to share some things that I've learned with you over this past year. You ready? I've been drinking. I'm not tell you what I drink yet though, but you're gonna like it. You'll see it when the guests come on. Let's get into the soul work. As I speak to women, one of the things I always say, and I'm very conscious and cognizant within myself, is that it's not every day you feel confident. Some days, you're not on the same degree of confidence. So it's not that you're there at the bottom of the barrel. It's not that you feel like, oh, nothing now go on for you. But you're just not at number 10 on the scale. And so I've been battling between 6, 7, sometimes, drop down to a 5. And on those days, I've had to dig deep. Because one of the questions that I always get, whether it is in interviews or regular conversations, even among friends, is how you stay confident? What makes you confident, you know? And like everybody else, I'm human. It's not every day I feel the same. And on the days that I don't feel the same, this soul work that I've had to do to ensure that I continue to be the best version of myself and have my happiness priorities, that's what I'm calling them, my happiness priorities are in check. And so a couple of examples. Now, last season, me telling us say, when me did have baby, my foot grow, right? Now, me's a girl where my foot broad. From a long time, pre-baby. Now this post-baby foot, right? When me can't find no shoes for. Where everything just tight. where there's a little fat on the side of my foot where just hang out all the time. Let me tell you something. It hold me down. And let me tell you why it hold me down. Because, say, in the pandemic, we weren't really going out a lot. A lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of recordings, a lot of top alone meetings. And so the shoes, them dry rotten. They're not going with nothing. We left you a road. You have to bring tape and Patex. And so I needed new shoes. And so for every new outfit, when the place free up a little bit, for every new engagement, you have to get a new shoes. Why I can't find the shoes? Why I can't find the shoes? Because nothing can fit me. And in the moments when I can't find a shoe that is comfortable, because I'm also on that now, me now buy no shoes, but me are with tough. I started to be like, so why me I forget this a foot though? Why it did already broad from before me that I have issues, and out of everything, we decide to grow and stay grown. I remember my nose did grow too. My foot is just not at the same size. And it take me down. All feeling like, okay, is it I need another foot? Me no know, is there something to lose weight per foot? All type of things started to come to me. And then I had to say to myself, but my foot no broke, and then work, and then carry me around fast and efficiently. And maybe it's the type of shoe that I'm wanting to buy. And I had to just take a step back because, of course, I want the things that are trendy, the ones that are in. Little plastic ones everybody's wearing, look nice. They're uncomfortable. And they're not too make for fat people foot. You hear? You see the plastic something? All in the foot properly. And that's why my fat on my foot did a drop out. And I make me feel like that because I'm trying to fit into something that was not made for me. The utility is not for my body. And so, found shoes, many of them, because I changed my perspective on what I wanted. And when me find the shoes, me buy enough of the same shoes in a different color because it fits, because that's what works. So sometimes you just have to look at things from a different perspective and see if you are trying to fit into some sort of box because of a trend or what society or persons are going with, and realize that, hey, that's not for you. And there's something else for you that makes you look absolutely fabulous. And at this time of day in the shoes game, if you don't know where we sell wide width shoes, hit a girl up, let me know. Another thing is that sometimes because of things that persons have learned about how to treat a woman or man of a larger size, it ends up coming out in conversations and interactions that play upon your own confidence journey. And I'll give you an example. We know some people like the hot low carry them, right? Yeah, man, them like them. And yeah, they may look sporty and trendy, not really my type of thing, but you don't know. Come here, I wear my heels and go down in the low carry, kind of rough on the knee, and we're not 25 anymore. So, driving in a low car with somebody somewhere, and there's a hump. Remember, said the car low. And the first thing that the person thought about saying, asking, requesting is that I step out of the car. Because clearly it is my weight why the car now go over the hump. Remember, said the car low. I did step out of the car because in the car and they requested me step out of the car in my car, right? Stepped out of the car and allowed them, because for me, it was a teaching moment. Learning for me, teaching for them. Hopefully they learned too. And the car still scraped badly when they were alone in the car. This is a small-sized person. Remember, said the car did low. And post that, because they recognized that it really had nothing to do with my body weight, but because the car was low and the hump was high. So whether or not we were in there together or apart, the car would scrape. And they apologized. I mean, accept the apology, but it still showed some of the lessons that we've learned, how we rationalize body weight and persons, and saying things without initially thinking how it would make somebody else feel, only after you've learned the lesson that, oh, the car did low and the hump did high, and it have nothing to do with the other person. Yeah? No, you know, say home girl not going out at the car again, right? Not at all. But for sure, it was as I said, a teaching and learning moment for both persons involved, because I think now the person will never make that type of mistake or comment again, even if they think it. And for me, why did I put myself in that scenario? Again, me inner my feelings. And so I have decided and continuously decide that in coming out of some of these theories that people may have about what you look like and things that you should do because you look like that, it has to take a lot of self-motivation. There has also been some milestones that I didn't meet for myself. I'm in my feelings about myself, for myself. So I have unlimited access to Fit Farm Fitness Club. Love you, Audrey. Why? I buy all of these things to go to the gym. Not necessarily for the weight loss, but I need to get fit. You understand, the walking up the stairs and now works for me. Why is it that I will make a plan to go to the gym, but then things pop up? And instead of sticking to that plan for myself, I take on the things that have popped up, the things that people have put on my plate, and not necessarily putting myself first where my fitness and health is concerned. I'm tired of myself with it. I don't know if I'm tired of myself with it, but I'm tired of myself with it. And it's a new year, and I decided that, again, because this whole on a journey with yourself, making yourself better, is just that. It's a journey. And so I've decided again that I'm gonna try with myself again to ensure that I stay consistent. This time I'll buy scale. Now Audrey will tell you, say, that's not a scale, girl. Because I was never a lose a lot of weight person. I was always a get sexy when I don't feel as sexy person. And so when she would ask me, all right, so what weight would you wanna be? And I'm like, I just want sexy though. And so scale never come in. Me get scale. I've been much better with the scale because I'm holding myself accountable. You know what I mean? I'll miss on a morning time. Him just a walk in a bathroom, I go on scale, I call out the number them, and I go. Because that's how we work it now. I buy a Fitbit. Yeah, I try with myself. So I have put things in place that in my own feelings about myself, what I not do, to ensure that it's a better or more successful journey this time. Another thing that has played such a major role this year for me that I definitely want to share with you in this season of the Being Broadtail podcast is that we have to get to the root of the trauma that we're facing in order to get over it. For me, it has been ingrained messages that we have learned that we need to unlearn as we try to get out of the trauma. And so one very significant one for me, even though I thought that I didn't internalize a lot of what was told to me about my body and how it works and what it should do and what I should wear, because I've always been so rebellious in my fashion as a plus size woman, is when Rihanna, Robin Fenty, became a national hero of Barbados. So there was this whole Republic celebration, big up to Prime Minister Mia Mottley, and Rihanna's dress, that caramel leather dress, hot. But when I looked at the TV for the first time, the message that flashed to me, like many others that I rebuke thereafter, is Rihanna couldn't wear one brassiere. When I saw the back of the dress, I was like, no, she couldn't wear one brassiere because it would have shown. But then I actually said it to a couple of my friends that we were watching together, and I said the whole Rihanna couldn't wear a brassiere. And one of my friends said to me, but then you are the Broadtail girl. Now you are tell people, say body positivity and wear what you want and you wear what you want. How come now you police one other woman body and same time you get checked? And I just have to stand up in on myself and say, hold on. Did I just police Rihanna's body? What gave me the right to do so? And even if it was just for a second, just a split second, it showed me that some messages that were ingrained in me about what we should wear as women was so pronounced that this woman was getting fully national hero, highest order in her country. And my first inclination was to think about if she could have wear brassiere. Now, I know, I have told you before that I'm gonna be on that no bra team when these babies get up. And may I talk about Rihanna brassiere? And so for me, I've had to get to the root of some of the things that we were told. And in getting to the root of that, it was also about opinions that people hold of us. Throughout this season, those two themes came out. One, things that parents or people who groom and grow children have poured into them and how that has influence the decisions that they end up making in their personal life, in their careers, in relationships, lessons they've had to learn and unlearn because of it. And another thing is people will always have an opinion about you. My guests have gained weight. They have lost weight for different reasons. They have changed careers. They have been on their own tumultuous confidence journey that is bringing them happiness. And throughout all of it, whether it was a lose weight, gain weight, change job, there were people who had negative things to say. People will always have negative things to say. And let me even go further to say, check it out. Are the people who are the less than you have the negative things to say? Never the person who had the more than you. Never one time. So don't get hung up on the negativity that persons are coming to you with. Because if you do, you end up inhibiting your own self. And then, what about the negative things that you are saying to yourself? There's a thing called imposter syndrome. You know about it? For my last couple of engagements last year, I researched it. And it was surprising to me when I learned about it. And even more surprising to some of the persons that I was talking to in the group sessions about it. Because in a Jamaican terms, it's basically holding back yourself because you think you're not good enough. What it is thinking that no matter the qualifications, the experience, the know-how that you have, you are still not good enough to accomplish the goal you want to because you personally don't feel like you have your ducks in a row, whether it is you're a perfectionist, whether it is you were a genius at things and now because this thing is a little bit challenging or stepping out of your comfort zone, you don't think you're able to achieve it. When there are other people out there doing things that you can do better than them, things that they have no proficiency in, but because they're confident enough to step out and try, they're actually succeeding at it. Because let me tell you something about Jamaican people and people around the world. You see, when a man or a woman say you try, them support you. When them say you're confident, you step out, you do something, them support you because people like winners. We don't like people who fail. We don't like people who cower away. We don't like people who are not confident in how they speak and they act. And so when somebody decides that they're going to be confident, regardless of whether them have the know-how or experience to do it, they start to get traction. While you over there, I impose upon your one self all type of negativity which inhibits you. Step out. Don't do that this year. That's not what we're about. Challenge your own self that you're going to accomplish this thing bit by bit. I have decided that I'm going to be more meaningful and intentional, and hopefully you too, with my confidence toolkit. What are the things that I am doing effectively and intentionally and continuously to ensure that I keep my own confidence game on a high? And so there are a couple of things that I've intentionally put into my confidence toolkit that has helped me and hopefully will help you on your own confidence journey. And so what we're doing now is number one, adding value to people and having shared experiences. So when I'm not feeling at the top of my confidence game, I want to talk to people. I want to talk to them about what's happening with me, what's happening with them. Hopefully in sharing our experiences, we get to uplift each other, you know? Sometimes my mother would have said, you have to tell people your business sometime. because it's through that you get help. And so that's number one in the toolkit. Affirmations. I am a big fan of affirmations. When somebody affirms you, that's all well and good. Thank you very much for your affirmation to me. But when you are self-affirmed, it comes from a stronger place and it forms a foundation that you are able to build on, a foundation that is intentional, a foundation that allows you to not necessarily need affirmations from other people. And so that is something that I actually worked on this year, and I'm about to give you a little surprise about that. You're gonna like it. Movement. Whenever I'm not at the top of my game, whenever I feel mentally stressed or mentally strangled, if I stay physically in one place, I start dropping in one hole. I don't want to drop in at a hole because it's hard to take out a hole. And so I have to keep moving. I have to do something physically that will get me out of my mental state. So whether that is exercise, dancing, dressing up, feeling good with my friends, but I have to physically move from the scenario that I'm in. Now, I understand that some people are very different, where when they're not feeling at the top of their game or they're not feeling confident, they actually need to stay still and soak it all up before they go on to the next thing that they're doing. But for me, movement is very important to get me out of my own headspace, you know? On the days when I feel my worst, those are the days that I look my best. Because best believe, if me feel like me there at the bottom of the barrel, and me also look like me there at the bottom of the barrel, I don't get at the bottom, I gotta stay. And so I give you a little experience. I had COVID. Did you have it too? Many of us did in Jamaica, especially in the December period. And right before I caught COVID, I did a little glam up. You know, I did my hair, I did my nails, bought 2 little things. Next day, why I feel so weak and tired, joint pain, the worst headache in my life, and I just want to lay down. I caught COVID. While I was getting better, what I said to myself is, well, at least me did go pretty up myself, because if me did pop down with COVID and look bad, then we know me would have depressed getting into a new year where usually we're all on our A game. We did our vision board. Stepping into January, I was on my back. Looking my best on my worst days also worked for me, and it is firmly imprinted in my confidence toolkit. Maybe we can share about what's in your confidence toolkit and we exchange a few things. But those things have worked for me, and hopefully they work for you too. I want to talk about self-care. How do we care for ourselves as we go through all these emotions set upon us by a pandemic, by people in society, and also by ourselves? I want to bring in the devastating scenario that happened with Chesley Chris. She was Miss USA. And we know how pageants are. They are about your beauty with a purpose, but it's largely how you look, how you walk, what do you say. And generally, them are the girl them where people feel have the good body in our society. And you know that USA places a lot on that with their representatives for that competition. And unfortunately, she took her own life. And it was because, based on her note, that she was still facing so much negativity about her own self, not loving herself, maybe like how the whole world or her own country love her. And so we're living in a time that none of us have ever lived in. No, we never lived in a pandemic like this before. The things that are happening to us, they never happened to us before. And so we may go along, chugging along on our own journey, thinking that, yes, we're surviving. But also I want you to be intentional about how you thrive in this time. An example that stood out for me was from a lady, actually, that I've had the opportunity to interact with. The new Chief of Defense Staff of the JDF, 5'2", 5 feet 2 inches, very fierce and strong. And something that she said to me is that she never placed boundaries on herself. And so all the things that she wanted to do, wanted to achieve, whether personal or in her career, she just set out to do it, have a good team and support, and just did it. I feel like if sometimes you just block out the noise a little bit and maybe have something to drink, we'll get to a place where we don't care so much about what the world is saying, but we pay a lot more attention to what we are saying about ourselves, about the support that we have, whether self-motivated or otherwise, and care for our mental health and space in a way where we're able to actually just love up ourselves, love up your good body, love up with good mind, love up what we do, love the value that we add to people. And because of that, I have a gift that I really gave to myself and then decided to share it with you. And these are the Being Broadtail affirmation cards. Remember, I tell us the affirmations firmly in my confidence toolkit. I created 23 cards that are things that I've said to myself that have helped me to keep my own mental space and confidence really safe and secure and strong. I've decided that I've packaged them. Big up to the good design from good designer Shantae Madden. Very elegant, I love them. I will no longer be just saying them to myself. I will also be giving you the opportunity to be able to purchase them in your favorite bookstores and pharmacies in Jamaica and also online. It was fun sharing them with the guests this season because when they chose a card at random and they read it, it completely aligned to what they were going through or their goal. And so I'm going to do it for myself. 23 of them. Yes, me know. 23 is not a month, but that's okay. I only came up with 23 and I'm not going to force it. I like this for myself. So this one says, I attract multiple sources of wealth because I deserve the good things them. I deserve the good things them and you deserve them too. So I'm going to put them down there and say, I can't wait for us to go through this season together. And I'm so thankful to the sponsors that have stayed on board and the new ones that have come on. So of course, you know, our title sponsor is still Sagicor. And I love them so much for all the support that they've given to the Broadtails and the Being Broadtail podcast and YouTube series. I want to also thank Morgan's Creek because as you know, my nice clean skin only stay clean because Joni and our good things them in Morgan's Creek is nourishing my body. I also want to thank my beautiful set, 1010 events and rentals, Skyfall events. Thank you for coming through again. I want to thank the Harry J Recording Studio. And as you see, me I give you more of the space because I'm telling you how these hollowed walls have had reggae greats in it. And because we all up in it too, I wanted to see more of this space. It's nice door. I feel like I look good next to the wood. I also want to thank newly on board Blink Sky Jamaica. Now that's an online gifting platform where you're able to purchase gift vouchers for your friends, family, or just people who you love. And everything happens on your phone. It's scanned, it's safe, it's secure, and it has some wonderful merchants that I know that my guests are gonna love what they get from them. And of course, you need to check out their website and get a gift card for yourself or for somebody else. And also Rev. You know, Rev always sought me out with my jewelry. And newly on board too will be pieces of Bianca, who has made me sweet and sexy with jewelry throughout the season. And you get to get all the things that my guests also get on set when you watch every Thursday, because you know we start off the weekend on a Thursday at 8 p.m. on all platforms, right? And of course, you know, we could not have Being Broadtail without having the sleek confidence pose. My lovely cobalt blue dress is gonna be on show now. Good things that come easy. You see how my ZZ plant grow? It grow nicely, it'll grow wide, and it'll grow tall, which means the wealth, the good things them coming to us. And I'm gonna share it with you, but I'm just gonna go and touch it up same way because that's what my guests will do. And did you buy your ZZ plant yet? And so, I wanna say thank you again for tuning in to this very first episode of our second season of Being Broadtail, where we start the soul work.
Sometimes the things that tear us apart are the ones that unite us and bring us closer together. Sometimes the darkest of night turns into a day so bright, leaving the scars and the pain, everything that we fear behind us. Where there is life, let's keep on dreaming. Where there is love, let's find new meaning. Where there is hope, keep on believing, keep holding on. So never give up through wind and storm, 'cause after the rain, there'll be a calm. Sunshine of a new day, it won't be long. Keep holding on.
A message from Sajiko.